Closing.
Hola, hello, welcome, join us. Thank you for joining us.
We're just a few minutes behind
Yeah,
schedule today
it
because
just is.
when you prepare technology ahead of time, sometimes it doesn't like the time lapse.
Pause. Yeah, it
And
just
then it
doesn't
says,
like to
oh,
pause.
it says do it again.
So we
Yeah,
do it again. And sometimes it
sorry.
doesn't like a repeat either.
Yeah.
But we are here. Who are we, Anita?
We are all in alignment, creating sacred spaces with Anita A. and Cheryl V.
Hello. We're your stress
And
reduction gurus too.
mm, every Friday
Mm-hmm.
for
A few years
about
now.
a few
A few
years
years.
now.
Yeah.
We have been coming live every Friday discussing Feng Shui using the Personal Paradise card deck of Tara Catherine
Which
Collins.
is funny. So when you hold up your card deck to your
Oh,
side, you never see it.
it
There you go.
disappears. Okay,
Right in the middle. Woohoo! Thank you,
I'm
Tara.
putting it right here.
That's perfect.
See it now
Yep.
with my chin on it? Okay.
We rest on it. And you know what's special about today? Two things. It's Friday the 13th, and I personally think it's a fantastic day. And are you ready for this? It is our 222nd episode. So we are starting the day with master number 222.
Ooh, are you going to tell us about that part?
Sure, why don't I? And as I do that, one card flies out, which is children and creativity. Imagine that. As you can hear, children around. All right, so from Double Digitology, Marilyn Harper, Joy Roby, the 222 creates another energy completely. You've got the master builder in the 2-2, but you also have the master builder that is acknowledging the wondrous mechanisms of their foundation. 222 adds up to a 6, which points to material possessions and giving birth to new ideas. It asks you to pay attention to material things, which have very little foundation. The 6 has a rolling foundation, not steady at all. 222 is all about the strength and foundation of your relationships. You can build a skyscraper on your own if you want to, and sometimes you will feel like you are building the skyscraper on your own. However, if you allow others to assist you, it gets so much easier. That is where those 222s come in. You see what we are saying?
Ooh.
Ooh. Interesting way to start. And the first card that comes out is number 50, Children and Creativity. So, Miss Anita, you can start on that. I'll continue shuffling cards because we know why that
Wow.
card came out.
Yeah, because I have my little people unexpectedly here today. So if you hear some little voices in the background saying Ganny, Ganny, that's why. Right? So we're just got to be prepared sometimes for the
The
unexpected.
unexpected.
And it's okay. And maybe, you know what? Maybe the universe was saying, Anita, you need to take some time out to play because
Mm-hmm.
in Feng Shui, the children and creativity area of the home is all about that joyful expression, that
Exactly.
self-love, self-care, bringing laughter, those kind of things. And quite often, as you get to be my age and your
Our
children
age.
have grown and gone and the energy in the home can kind of lack
Oof.
that spontaneity, that just, being in the moment, just going with the flow. And that's what children bring into your life, right?
100%.
And so really, I think maybe that's why that card came up today because the universe just said, okay, well, you're not taking time out for yourself and, being in the moment, being joyful.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to bring the grandkids over. And then now you get to spend the day in play.
Yay.
And yeah, so we're just going to go with the flow and we're going to play. And we've already had some tickles and laughter and snuggles and cuddles. So the heart center is already open.
Nice.
And, we can create that in our home environment in the children and creativity area by, again, allocating some space that fuels your own personal interest in self-development. Whether it's creating a little reading area if you like to read, a little meditation area if you like to meditate. Perhaps it's a fitness room, a yoga studio, a painting room, right? Whatever it is, whatever brings you that joy and puts you in that present moment,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to create that space in your home. Yeah.
Exactly.
More
Well, I
than
had
that.
three more cards fall out, literally. Two face up, and I can see what they are, and one face down. So the two that flew out face up are number 48, fame and reputation. And I think that ties in perfectly with what you were just talking about. Because for your family, they know that you are reliable. They know, Anita, that they can drop and go because Grammy is always, always there for her family and her grandkids.
I'm the drop and go
You're the
granny.
drop and go Grammy.
Yep.
And number 36, directional sleeping.
Hmm.
So I was telling our friend Melody, we drove out to Janice Gallant now has a teepee. It's all
Mm.
set up, blessed by an elder, and we did a full moon ceremony out there on Wednesday night. It was lovely.
Nice.
The first woman's
Nice.
circle she's held there. And on the drive, I was telling Melody when we had checked into the hotel room, because we were talking about directions and how some people just know. They know their directions. My husband's
Mhm.
like that. You're very much like that. And I was telling Mel that you said after we had checked in, I'm pretty sure the heads of our beds are facing north. So I go back into the room, pull out my compass because I am not ideally, I shouldn't say ideally, I'm not spot on. I can get pretty close. But you were literally, I held my compass up, you were literally spot on for the directions. I'm
Mhm.
just like, that's amazing. That's just truly amazing.
Well, and it makes such a difference. And had we not been,
Mm-hmm.
right? Had we not been with our headboards facing north, if they had been facing south, I seriously would have called down to the desk and asked for a different room.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I have had the experience of sleeping with my head to the south, OMG, I do not sleep well at all.
Mm-hmm.
And because we were there and we knew our schedule was going to be very full, and we had some 14, 16-hour longer days, it was imperative that when we put our head down on the pillow that we were able to get some sleep.
Yep.
So
Yes.
directional sleeping is so important. And you know what? Maybe it's here we are in the summer and people are
Mm-hmm.
traveling. And something that you definitely want to make note of.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are in a hotel room or an Airbnb and the headboard is facing south, then you know what? Just put the pillows at the other end of the bed.
There you go. Great solution.
If you can't change the bed, right? In all of our Airbnbs, there's only one property where the headboard is not situated ideally, and there's nothing else I can do about it. But in all the other ones, we have north facing, west facing, and east facing. So we know that the sleep is going to definitely be better. Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. Let's talk a little bit about fame and reputation or fame and recognition. When I was out at Janice's full moon ceremony the other night, I was just listening to, there was 14 of us.
Very
Beautiful,
nice.
beautiful group of women. And I was listening to some of the ladies describe themselves. And it's really quite interesting that we will downplay ourselves. We will downplay our talents and our gifts. And I don't know if that's our upbringing, if I'm sure that's definitely some of our upbringing because it's not good to brag. Don't be so boastful, yada, yada, yada. And there was almost judgment and condemnation on those that did, that were proud of themselves and proud of what they could do and were considered boastful. And at the same time, when we hide, when we dim our own lights, we think it's so that other people will feel comfortable around us. Yet what it does, it made me anyway think, wow, there's some very talented women here, yet no one's proud of what they're doing.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I wonder if there's a pride thing or how we can encourage women to step into the light, to step into their power and be recognized for their talents.
Well, and definitely in the fame and recognition area of your home or your office, or the space that you spend a lot of time, right? You could definitely put some kind of imagery or something that affirms or reaffirms how you want to be seen or how you want to be known,
Mm-hmm.
how you want to be famed within your community, within your peers, within your personal circle, right? And sometimes if you don't know what that is, you could just reach out to your friends on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
and make a little post and say, what are three qualities that you admire about me, right? What are three qualities that you would aspire to be or that you see in me, right?
Right.
So just asking for some feedback and then whatever that feedback comes in, because it is fame and recognition is all about how you are seen in the community, how other people see you or how you want to be seen. So yeah, great question. Let's ask our viewers, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you see Anita and Cheryl and Feng Shui Friday, right? How do you recognize us in that community?
That's a
What
great
are
question.
some attributes or qualities that you see in us that you would aspire toward? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. We'd love to
absolutely.
have your comments. Put them in there.
Exactly. And thank you for those that are joining us live and those that are watching the hashtag replay later or on YouTube.
Mhm.
Going back to the fame and reputation, I'm just looking at Tara's card and I wanted to read it a little bit. Enhance with symbols of accomplishments and goals. We're talking about when you want to enhance the fame and reputation area. Photos and images of respected people. Pleasant lighting. Artwork depicting favorite people and animals. Triangle or conical objects or patterns. That goes back into 5-element theory. Books and quotes related to integrity. When you think about symbols of accomplishment and goals, for some that want to be known as a nurturer, right? That can be pictures of your family or nurturing situations. I got a really itchy nose and I'm going to sneeze, so you got to take it, honey.
Well, thank you, Dell. Dell has commented super confident, balanced, and fun. Yay. Thank you. And we actually love that because I think that when we are stepping out into our communities, stepping out on these platforms, whether they're virtual or live, yes, we aspire to have confidence.
Hmm.
We aspire to be balanced in that energy that we can then um, communicate in a manner that conveys information that's ultimately going to hit somebody and fun, right? If we're not having fun, then
I don't want to do it anymore.
yeah, then we don't want to do it anymore. That's right. Mhm.
And we like to have fun. Life is serious enough that learning should be fun. And truthfully, we're teaching. Most of the time, we're in teacher mode. My husband said that to me the other day. You know, the way you explain that, you know you're teaching. I said, yeah, I'm aware of that, which is very cool when an observer comes up to you and calls you a teacher.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
how are we ever going to combine children and creativity,
Hmm.
directional sleeping, and fame and reputation?
Hmm.
It's an interesting combination of cards. And I've got them with the fire energy in the middle
You know what? I think it all comes down to
and the
what
wood energy on either
it all
side.
comes down to balance.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to if you were in Salt Lake City and or
Hmm.
if you were, part of the virtual audience, I believe there were 80,000 viewers at one time. Cheryl and I were on stage and we did a talk on an ancient symbol and how it has hidden wisdom that, has been just hiding in plain sight for all of these years.
Hmm.
And the talk was all about balance, harmony, and allocating time in our day
For
for
play.
work, rest, and play.
That's exactly what these cards are. That's
Mhm.
exactly what a great observation or channeled message, however you want to look at it.
Yeah. So fame and recognition is our work,
Work.
right?
Yep.
The directional sleeping is
Is our
our
rest.
and children and creativity.
Is
That's
our
our
play.
expression and our joy.
Yeah.
And, in order to create a balanced life, we need to nurture all three of these aspects, not only in our personal being, but
Hmm.
we have to reflect and see how it's being nurtured in our home environment.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it.
Mhm.
When you were talking about that, I wanted to um, add in there that at our event coming up in September 13th and 14th, Her Inspired Journey, we're going to expand on that conversation there. So we're not going to give too much away because there's more to share with that. We only had 15 minutes in Salt Lake City to share. And our own presentation, there's a saying that is, you teach what you're supposed to learn. And I have really been observant of that in my own life, that I'm still, after Gatherama, way out of balance on the work and
Mhm.
way under balance on the play. So
Mhm.
I keep trying to. The rest is pretty good, and even with the energy now, the rest is actually creeped up. There's less play, but there's more rest because it's feeling like we're getting a lot of energy at us right now. But it's observant in your own life. Where are
Mhm.
you lacking?
Mhm.
What's going on in your life, and are you noticing yourself out of alignment?
Mhm. And what's really fun about that is once you have that awareness, then there always is the opportunity to go back into homeostasis.
Yes.
Our bodies are designed and always seeking that balance and harmony, which ultimately is homeostasis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's always seeking to get back to that place, that space. And so when you have this new awareness of how you can shift the energy in your home to match that desired state, then guess what? You get back into homeostasis a lot quicker, back into that flow, back into that rhythm of life as a natural being. So yay, yay us for bringing that awareness. And
Exactly.
we're looking forward to, like Cheryl said, expanding on that awareness on our own stage. Ooh, and Dell joining us here this morning. She's going to be speaking on that stage. Yay!
Yay.
So exciting.
And you'll
It's
start
gonna,
seeing some announcements in here of our speaker lineup as we get the graphics created. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, why not? Make yourself that commitment. Give yourself that space, that place where you can start to feed balance into your life because you are worth it. It's important for you to realize that taking time for yourself, for your own growth, for your own creativity, and you're going to get some ideas. You're going to meet some absolutely outstanding women. You're going to feel like you're in a space of being embraced and hugged for an entire weekend. That's our intention in creating this space. So get your tickets. And you know what? Grab one for your girlfriend. Make it a girls' weekend. We don't do that enough. I was thinking this weekend with Father's Day coming up, Rod's headed up to go golfing with the boys. I'm like, I haven't seen my one girlfriend for a few months. I wonder if she wants to come have a sleepover. Because,
perfect.
there's always some wine to be drank.
Mhm. And I just want to make another note about our Her Inspired Journey Women's Wellness in-person event. The the growth and expansion
Mm-hmm.
that Cheryl and I have witnessed
Oh,
in the
MG.
past 9 months. It hasn't even been, yeah, 9 months
Yeah.
with some of the attendees of the 2024 event is right.
It is.
I mean, we have witnessed this huge, huge expansion and growth with so many, not just a couple, but
Yeah.
so many of the attendees of our event. I mean, it just blows our mind and blows our hearts wide open. That gives
Mhm.
us the confidence to say, you know what, this is a priority in our
Yeah,
life that
it
we
is.
put this event on because the impact is so huge. Yeah, it's
And that's
just
only in the 9 months. We'll never
yeah.
know the long-term impact that how it ripples out. We're still seeing
Mhm.
impact from the first year.
Oh, yeah.
So as we continue to evolve ourselves and we continue to grow, the weekend evolves and the attendees evolve. And
Mm.
in the long run, the collective consciousness evolves.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
it is so very exciting. So watch for the announcements of the speakers that are going to be joining us. And as I mentioned, grab your tickets. You're not
Mm.
going to want to miss this event.
Nope. Mm-mm.
All right. Do we
Mm-mm.
want to talk numbers? What time? Yeah, we should talk
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, you betcha.
Um,
Friday the 13th. What are the
yes.
numbers?
Now, do we want to add in today's date with the number of the cards?
I don't know. Let's see what the cards come up with and go from there.
I've got 8 for the cards. Have you got the date?
So we're the 6 and the 13, that's a 10,
And
plus
a
the
9.
9 is a 10. New
Okay.
beginnings.
And the cards total an 8.
And then that would be a 9. So, oh no. Yes, I'm still here. Sorry, I'm clicking an X when I shouldn't have. I was like, oh, I'm freaking out here. I thought maybe I stopped us. Um, yeah, so that, right, a 1 plus a 8 equals a 9, which is completion,
Mm-hmm. So in
completing
all of that, we have 8, 9, 10. We have a sequence.
8, 9, 10. Okay, well, what does Adironda have to say?
Well, number 8 represents infinity. right? And I'm going to go back to the double digitology, which is my go-to book. The is one of those wonderful numbers. The 8 is the shape of the 3 completed. When the 8 is out of balance, it means that you really get to focus your energy in your financial house, your spiritual house, as well as your physical belongings. Go
Hmm.
figure. Okay, that's the 8. I'm going to flip to the 9. The 9 represents ending of patterns and cycles, and we just had the full moon energy. We're still in it a little bit. So, how about we release those patterns of hanging on to possessions that are no longer serving us, or ideas or beliefs that you are not worthy, that are no longer serving you, and likely being reinforced in your home in the way of your possessions. It doesn't
Mm.
mean the end of life. It simply means the ending of a pattern or habit that you are ready to be done with. What are you ready to be done with? Pop that in the chat.
Mhm.
That's the
Mhm.
9. And you had mentioned the 10, although Adironda doesn't talk about the 10. She does talk about the 0, which is source energy and a reminder that you are not alone. You're never alone.
Mhm.
Source is
Mhm.
always present in your world, surrounding you with love and courage to do, say, or experience anything that is in your highest good. And we believe you joining us September 13th and 14th is in your highest good.
I love that. And the source energy, right,
Mm-hmm.
is so important. We were working with a client the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and Cheryl and I are both, Cheryl more so than me most of the time, is in tune to the energies from the other side. And we both at the same time got a clear, strong
Holy cow.
message from the client's mother, who is
Yep.
in energy form. Uh, and, we had a clear message for the client that said, ask your mother for help.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a great reminder for us because, energy cannot be destroyed. It only changes form. So when you have a loved one that has passed over to the other side, they are with us energetically
Mm-hmm.
and they can help you, but only if you ask. You have to ask for help. So when that came up, I was just like, yes, okay.
We
Good
have to ask for
reminder.
help.
Source energy.
And
Ask.
I have to tell you again at the full moon ceremony, Janice had a beautiful talking stick. And as we were welcoming in the guides and everything, I had coming in. So when it was my turn, for the first time ever, Cheryl channeled live in a group setting.
Ooh. Oh, oh, I know who that is.
Wow. So you never know when they're there to shift directions for you.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
Cool. All right.
Okay,
Well,
well,
have
everyone,
yourselves.
Friday the 13th is a lucky day. It's
It
all
is.
about feminine energy. Step into that. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers
Yes.
out there, whether they are with us in spirit or in form. We couldn't do it without you. And yeah, we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week, everybody.